Welcome to Who Knew. We are fans of the current series of Doctor Who, and here we discuss our likes, dislikes, and insights into the modern regeneration of the show. Subscribe, review, and listen to us on iTunes or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WhoKnewPodcast. All our episodes are on whoknewpodcast.com. You can leave comments there or email us at whoknewpodcast@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram and Twitter account. Tweet at us at whoknewpodcast. And find us on Facebook. Hey, Eugene here. We are reposting our Christmas specials episode in which we rank the 13 Christmas specials. It's funny how since we've done that episode, there have still been 13 Christmas specials because then they moved to New Year's specials. So with the Christmas special coming back this year in 2023 with the new Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa, we will see how that goes. And that's why we're reposting this episode. So we welcome the Christmas specials back to Doctor Who. So take a listen, see what you think, and enjoy. Today we're taking a quick trip in the TARDIS with the Christmas specials. So far, Doctor Who has had 13 Christmas specials. Since Christmas is around the corner, we're going to discuss them, separate those that are more Christmas themed than just set at Christmas, and give you our opinions as to the top ones to watch to put you in the Christmas mood. We are going to be talking about these out of time, so spoilers up ahead, but we will try to keep them to a minimum. Hi, this is Eugene. Let's introduce ourselves.
Ho, this is Frank.
This is Josh.
Merry Christmas. This is Auburn.
This is Kelsey, enjoying celebrating Christmas with all my friends.
And this is Brian, and it's cold outside.
And I think we should mention, though, that it's also winter solstice and days getting longer, because I know that because I saw part of the Christmas Carol, right? That's the beginning of that one.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that one did start with a long, the cold open is it's not about Christmas at all. It's about the winter solstice and how it's...
What do they call it? The Crystal Festival?
The
every
show
planet
mentioned,
has some festival that takes place midwinter.
Yes. Which winter is a concept that, of course, every planet would have the 4 seasons.
Tatooine.
They haven't gone to there yet.
Okay, so what's going to happen is that I'm going to briefly summarize the episodes, and then we're going to discuss or say yay or nay should this be included in the final ranking. And then from there, we will take what's left, and then we will rank them based on their festiveness. The Christmas Invasion is the first one in the new Doctor Who series, and that was from 2005. The 9th Doctor has just regenerated into the 10th Doctor, and Rose takes him home to rest. So are we going to keep this one, or what do you guys think? Is there enough Christmassy stuff? We have
This is a tough one.
we have the robot Santas, we have the deadly Christmas tree. It snows at the end.
I do watch it every Christmas, but I could probably be persuaded to say, for the purposes of this list, we would put it aside.
I'm leaning toward putting it aside. Anybody have any strong feelings for keeping it?
I'm saying keep it.
Okay.
And one thing is that the song that I did not know, and it's a song, Merry Christmas, Everybody, and it's by Slade from 1973, and a lot of people in Britain know this song. It's one of those that plays every year, and something that we Americans have not heard of before.
Yeah.
So it's a song that is running through a lot of the Christmas episodes. Starting with this one, it's Mickey in the Garage has this on the radio. In Runaway Bride, it's played at the reception. And then in Turn Left, it's also on the radio in the alternate version of Donna's life.
On Christmas Eve? I think it's gone on Christmas Eve.
Might be Christmas Day.
Okay.
So we
I
have
don't
happens
really
at
remember
Christmas.
exactly when. And then at End of Time, it's being played on Christmas card that Sylvia opens. So it's just a song that keeps repeating. I get it. It's also with this one, at the end, the Doctor goes to Christmas dinner with them, which is something that he says he doesn't usually do. And there they have the whole crackers opening up, which is very, very Christmas. And
Very British.
even Rose is saying, "Oh, I got the pink one. That should be yours." Just little banter, and it just to me has that feel that this is a good Christmas. I watch it at Christmas. It's the first one that started the Christmas specials.
Yeah, I think so. The whole thing visually is Christmas. You got Christmas trees attacking people. You got the robots who were dressed as, what would you call them?
Santas.
Santas, but wasn't there? Oh, I'm getting that confused with the angels. Everything is Christmas themed, so you take any of that out.
Is it an episode? I'm asking Josh. Is it an
I
episode?
know plenty about Christmas. It's been shoved down my throat all my life.
No, not. I knew that, but it's like, is this something that would like get you in the Christmas spirit?
I think so. Yeah, because it's totally visually Christmas oriented.
I think that's enough to keep it in the running.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not get rid of our first one.
I mean, it's called the Christmas Invasion.
No, I know. My only thing is that it's really we're being introduced to a new doctor.
Well, even if it's introducing this doctor, I think that's makes it even more of a special episode.
Yeah.
Kind of by itself.
It'd be like a present to the audience.
Yes, exactly.
All right, the next one would be The Runaway Bride from 2006. This introduces us to Catherine Tate as a bride, and she is brought on board the TARDIS because there's something weird with her, and then the doctor figures that out.
I don't consider this a Christmas special in my mind. Like when I'm thinking of the Christmas specials, I forget that The Runaway Bride was aired at Christmas.
And the spaceship looks like a snowflake or a spider web.
Yes, both.
Yes,
They call it
It's
the
a
Christmas star.
Christmas
but
star. Yeah.
It's a web.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I love this episode.
I do too.
It's not Christmassy.
I could watch this throughout the year. And to honor Donna Noble, she doesn't like Christmas, so I'm going to say no. That's why she got married on Christmas, because she didn't honor Christmas. So
That's funny.
to honor Donna, that's all I'm saying no.
Easy enough. The next one would be Voyage of the Damned from 2007. Astrid Peth is on what looks like the Titanic, but is more of a replica, where the doctor accidentally crashes into the Titanic and sneaks on board and figures out something is afoot.
And this one we have the professor who was telling everybody about Earth kind and
that's
Earth
right.
history.
'Cause he
Every
studied
Christmas
it.
they go to war with a country called Turkey.
Yes.
And they eat them.
Cute.
And then they eat them.
I think this definitely warrants a Christmas one because even at the end when they go down to the surface, everything's Christmas decorated. It's kind of got that bittersweet vibe at the end. It's there's the party. Is the song in this episode as well? Oh no.
It's an original song in this one.
I think this definitely feels like a Christmas massacre, but
The heavenly host, the robots,
Yeah,
the
the-
angel
yeah, the
robots are
hosts.
there. They have some good visuals.
yeah.
I do love the angels having the halo, taking the halos off, and then the supports are actually horns. So it goes from angel to devil. I like that, but I say this is just a party ship. They're there because it does remind me, and it reminded the other people of Poseidon Adventure, which was New Year's Eve party that they were going through during
Side
Christmas
Adventures
time.
New Year's Eve.
They all
Yeah.
said Happy New Year, and that's
That's
what
right. They're
skipped
not
over.
counting down.
Talk
See?
about getting tipsy on New Year. I'm sorry. Okay. I would say no, that most of this really doesn't have anything that gives me the feels of Christmas. It doesn't have anything to do with any of the spirit of Christmas or any of the things other than just, here, we'll put it as a setting here.
All right, Frank swayed me.
Yeah, I
All
agree.
right, we're getting
I'll
rid
take
of
it.
Voyage of the Damned. Sorry.
Damn them.
Next up would be The Next Doctor from 2008, where the Doctor is companionless and goes to 1850 and finds somebody who has similar attributes and acquaintances as him as the Doctor.
And he's calling himself the Doctor.
Correct.
This one's tough because
It
you
does-
see
yeah.
Victorian-ish stuff, and you automatically kind of do think Christmas.
And it's snowing.
Yeah, but there's nothing in it that says Christmas at all.
It's the Dickensian feel of Christmas.
That's it,
when
the
we first start, that
orphans and-
sets it
yeah,
there.
yeah, but
They
that's-
have the orphans working in the
But
workhouses.
it's not snowing. They don't. I don't even think they hardly mention Christmas. Maybe once or twice in the very beginning.
And at the end, it's a big deal about him coming to Christmas dinner.
But that in the next Doctor.
Yeah, they invite him. Because
Oh, I'll have to come
Yeah.
here and record this before. I actually watched it right before we came. Man.
Jackson Lake invites him over
Yeah.
because Jackson Lake understands the Doctor at this point somewhat.
Right.
Because he has had some of the
Right.
memories and feels he's the
Yeah,
Doctor.
but the whole episode, none of the rest of the episode says Christmas.
I have no feelings for this. I can leave this one.
I didn't watch this one, so I can't weigh in.
In my memory, there are certain aspects that I really don't like. But it's that feeling similar to Love and Monsters in that there was a good lead up to the story, you can follow along with it, and then the ending is kind of, what are you doing?
Really?
To me.
Oh, with the bad
but
guys?
then, but then I'm, yeah.
All right, we'll have to talk about this on the episode-centric episode.
No, I did actually. I did watch this earlier this year, and surprised that it was a Christmas special. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
There. I don't remember Christmas being a part of this episode at all.
Yeah, watching it for this, I liked the episode more than I did in my memory. So I would say no on my vote.
The next would be The End of Time, Part 1, which aired on December 25th, 2009, and then Part 2 aired on January 1st, 2010.
But we can consider them one.
Yes.
And we can say no.
I will say no as
No.
well. Next up is A Christmas Carol from 2010. The Doctor goes to a planet that is celebrating their winter solstice. Fish fly, and there's an opera singer, and a very Charles Dickens feel to this.
And it's called A Christmas Carol for
A reason. I would definitely say yes.
Oh, yes. This is a yes for me.
This was I watched parts of it again for this episode, and it was very weird, especially skipping around to parts of it, because there are flying fish and flying sharks, and a love story that's kind of cool.
But it has Michael Gambon.
I mean, let's keep it in the running. I don't think I watched enough of it to get the Christmas feel. It had the cold open explaining that every planet, every culture has a Christmas, in air quotes, celebration or holiday.
A winter
Yeah.
holiday?
Winter holiday.
Yeah, we've made it. We're halfway through the
Quite
dark.
the pagan. Yeah.
And also, this has the starship crashing in the beginning. That's straight out of the Star Trek movies, because there's a lot of flares,
Lens flares.
lens flares.
All right, we're keeping it.
But I say yes, keep it. But I liked Katherine Jenkins. I think she has a great voice. And her song, Abigail's song, Silence is All You Know, is on our playlist at Christmas now. So I definitely think this should be in the Christmas.
I also think she's very cute.
And she was on Dancing with the Stars, for those of you who...
Oh.
She's an opera singer, classically trained,
That's
I believe.
the woman that
Kinda
was
cute. I think
Frozen.
beautiful.
I like her
Sorry,
a lot.
Albert?
The woman that was you're talking about the woman that was
Frozen.
Next up is The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe from 2011. The Doctor crashes in 1938, let's just say Great Britain, and he meets a mom and then says, "Thank you for helping me. If you ever need anything, call out." And she does call out 3 or 2 years later, and he's a caretaker in a house, and he creates a winter wonderland in the house to celebrate Christmas with the family.
I did watch this one in preparation for our podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and I would watch this at Christmas.
Cool. I would too.
I definitely think it's in the running.
Yeah, I think
That was easy. Next up is The Snowman from 2012. This is taking place in the middle of something that's big with the Doctor. He just lost Amy and Rory, and this is the 11th Doctor, and he lands in Victorian London, meets a nanny and a villain that forms memory in snow.
Yeah, this is definitely a Christmas one for me.
Definitely
Yeah.
with the snowman.
Oh, I was about to say I want to pop it in to watch to get myself into the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, I
I
can
don't
see
know.
that. It's more of the horror mystery based than feel good.
I mean, possessed snowmen. What else is Christmas?
Yeah, but I mean, it's more winter than Christmas though. Like I don't really associate snow with Christmas. Like you can have Christmas in a desert, so snowmen equaling Christmas doesn't track for me.
yeah, I'm very biased that way. I think of the Christmas holiday with wintry thing, but I know there's other places in the world that don't.
Like
So-
here.
Like here.
Yes.
I mean, if it's a question, I would put it on the list for later. I don't have to eliminate it now.
Okay.
I mean, I came into this thinking that it should be on the list, but giving you the Christmas spirit
Doesn't.
doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm unfortunately probably going to say that I wouldn't include it, but that's just me.
So then what is that now?
3-3.
Then let's leave
So
it
then
in.
we'll leave it. Next up is The Time of the Doctor from 2013. This is the finale, or the ending of the 11th Doctor, and he goes to a town called Christmas and spends...
Oh my goodness. Sorry, keep
I
give
don't
me your
like I don't
synopsis.
like
I'm
this
just
episode
remembering
either, so I'm good with leaving this off.
But it is very Christmassy. I will give it that.
But is it
I
just the
don't-
setting? It's just the setting.
Is the
Like
town called
it's called the town is called Christmas, and it's not like it's taking place at Christmas. I mean,
But
At
is
the
there,
beginning,
how
it-
much Christmas imagery is there?
At the beginning, it does. Clara calls him because she's having Christmas dinner and wants him to pose as her boyfriend, because family can meet him. And so the whole beginning is very Christmas. But that's it, to me.
and that it has nothing to do with
But-
the holiday.
It really doesn't. And then the Christmas is, I want to say, the last half of the entire episode. There's no Christmas at all.
I don't want to put it in.
Well, you don't get, it's not dictatorship.
But I'm
But I
saying,
say no.
but you, so you agree with me?
I do. Well, I'm saying that the beginning
You
part's
walked right
Christmas.
into that. I saw that coming.
No, but he didn't let me finish. I said I don't feel like putting it in there in the running. Does anybody else feel strongly for leaving it in? That's what I was gonna say.
I vote no.
No,
That was funnier.
doesn't seem that way. No one else is.
I'll also vote no.
Next up is Last Christmas from 2014. Clara awakens to something on her rooftop, and she finds out it's Santa and some elves. And then she finds out further that she's in a dream, and there are crab-like aliens causing everybody to live in this dreamlike world that's very much like Inception, and they have to get out of the dream.
I'm a total yes.
Yeah, this is absolutely.
Santa Claus is all
Santa
over
Claus
this
is
one.
there. It's meant to evoke. The whole episode is meant to evoke Christmas.
It does have the song "Merry Christmas, Everybody," so I say yes.
Is that the stipulation?
I don't think Kelsey and I have seen it because Clara and Capaldi are our blind spots mostly.
Or kryptonite.
Yeah, but I mean,
is
it
this
does.
a Capaldi?
Yeah,
It does sound very
I don't think
Christmassy
we've seen
from
it.
the summary I'm reading. Let's keep it.
I would say it's one of my favorites, so I'm gonna vote for Let's Keep It. But it's not very Christmassy because it's
Oh.
more.
Yes, it is.
Hold on.
There's Santa Claus
Hold on.
in it.
And crabs.
The bulk of the story is very much inspired by The Thing and Alien, so it's got a lot of horror in it. So it's not going to evoke those feelings of Christmas until the very end. So I would say that majority of the journey is not Christmas.
Except for that Santa's with them the whole time.
Correct, but I still enjoy it.
He makes a good point.
He does
but
make a good point, but you could also make a point on some of the other episodes too that we're including.
I know,
Let's keep it in the running.
but I'm going to keep it in. I'm
I
for
think,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely in the running.
For me, the ending, because I know it was going to be a different alternate ending when they first wrote it, but I think the ending does do enough, which gets it into the Christmas spirit for me.
Totally agree.
But I agree with you that majority of it could be set somewhere different, some of the time.
I
Right,
don't know,
but,
maybe
to do with
Alien's a
because
Christmas
it's such
movie
a
to
good
me.
episode, that kind of
But that- yeah.
that throws it into the rating.
Next up is The Husbands of River Song from 2015. The Doctor is on a planet in 5343 where he's mistaken as somebody else, and he meets a former companion, River Song.
It's not Christmas.
It's definitely not Christmas. It's
It's
good.
a great
it's
episode.
good.
It's not Christmas.
It's not Christmas, but does it give you Christmas feels?
No.
When you watch, okay. For me, yes, it's a very heartwarming story.
Yeah, but not in a Christmas way, in a
Valentine's
romantic
way.
In a Valentine's way.
Yeah.
This is a Valentine's episode.
There's a whole episode where people at Christmas get crabs.
I'm going to say yes because I think I'm going to be outvoted. So I'm just going to say yes.
Absolutely love this episode, but it doesn't need to take place at Christmas. What makes this one special is the return of River Song, not a Christmas story.
Anybody else have any strong feelings for keeping it in the running?
Yeah, well, even though it has a song, it doesn't have these Christmas.
Sorry, babe.
That's fine.
I'm not going to be able to back you up on this one.
Next up is The Return of Dr. Mysterio from 2016.
Is this even during Christmas?
It's on Christmas Eve in 1992.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's in the past too. I mean, that's the flashback.
Then the doctor with Nardole go to investigate something weird in New York, and they meet Dr. Mysterio.
This was one that I happened to rewatch because it looks so or watch for the first time because the thumb title and the title
And the
sounded
and the
picture
picture.
sounded so ridiculous.
yeah.
I was expecting to like, oh well, I'll scan through this one real quick just to see what it's about. But we ended up watching most of it because it's a really good episode.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not Christmas.
But other than the beginning,
No.
there's
Yeah.
no tie-in.
no,
not at all.
No.
Taking it off. And last, we have Twice Upon a Time from 2017. The 12th Doctor meets the first Doctor, and they're both going through regeneration.
Anxiety.
Yeah, I was going to say hesitation. Anxiety is good.
Yes, this is definitely a Christmas one, especially with the Christmas armistice and everything.
Good. I had that note too. Yeah.
It's very snow.
yeah.
The half of it takes place in snow and the frozen snow and.
I'd have to say, if it
The-
wasn't for the armistice, I would say no.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
But the armistice makes it a yes.
I even think the glass-looking aliens look like icicle. Like it just it
Yeah,
evokes a
I'll give
lot
you.
of
Imagery.
imagery,
Yeah.
icicles, or even Christmas decorations, things like that.
And to me, like
Daleks are very Christmassy.
and the fact that both these men are going through like a reflection on their life, it kind of reminds me of not only
Both these men.
yeah, the first Doctor and the 12th
No,
Doctor.
it's the same man. I was making a stupid joke.
They're just going through a reflection of life, and I feel like that's what sometimes we do in that time.
That's a
With-
good
I thought you
point.
meant the
Christmas.
soldier. He was also kind of resolved to death and then going, wait a minute. But there's a movie, Joyeux Noël, from 2005, which deals with the armistice and all this. And it brought
tells
back those
the
memories.
story.
It's a great. I
great.
like this movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's a great movie.
But watching this episode,
It's French. It's all in French.
All right, so from what we've eliminated, we have the Christmas Invasion, A Christmas Carol, the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe, the Snowmen, Last Christmas, and Twice Upon a Time. From the remaining 6 Christmas specials that we have listed to keep in the running, we will now then rank them based on what you should include in your playlist, and 1 being the most Christmassy to 6 being If You Have Time. Is that
And
agreed
why are
upon?
we putting the snowman at 6?
Because it's Christmassy, but
But it's not a very good episode.
Oh, no. I love The Snowman.
it's a
I
good
love
episode.
that episode.
Oh.
Really like it.
Love it better
We
than...
watch it at Christmas. It's one
Do
that
we
we
need
do.
to debate then if it should be
No, because
5 or
for the
6?
for the parameters of this list, you don't
It's
get a
it.
Christmassy feel from it.
But
okay.
it is a good episode because it has Ian McKellen as the Great
Oh.
Intelligence and Richard E. Grant, who played the 9th Doctor in Scream of Shalka. It's an animated thing before this new reboot came along.
No, I really, really like the episode, but it's more of negative aspects of Christmas.
Yes.
Let's talk about Twice Upon a Time then, since Frank brought that one up.
Well, actually, he
seems
does
like
change the
that one.
timeline. He does change history in that one because he says something about
He moved it a few hours. So
yeah,
that it's
which I
Christmas.
don't quite understand because then wouldn't the old the other timeline he'd be repeating on his own timeline the soldier, so he would still be there.
Shh, it's Christmas.
Okay,
But yes, but shh, Christmas.
right. I chalked it up to storytelling and such, but
So personally, for me,
Yes, the memory perhaps.
I would put Last Christmas above this, just
What,
because
Twice Upon
above
a
Snowman.
Time?
above Twice Upon a Time, because you have Santa and you have him like be almost like another Doctor in this episode. And I don't know how to put this, but the fact that Clara talks about how she gave up believing in Santa but then doesn't because she kind of hugs or looks at the Doctor saying I never stop believing, and looks at him like he's Santa. It kind of gave me a warm feeling thinking about that.
She never. Oh, okay. At the beginning, she said
Yeah.
she gave up on it.
And then at the end, she kind of finishes that thought.
There's also the whole Perfect Christmas Day with Danny, which I like the way they ended it. I thought they ended it really well. So yes, it's sad, but it's almost like makes sense. It's earned.
And the other thing that I like is when the resolution of the episode or special is happening, how everybody, it's the last lady, who's it, Shona? It's like she wants to spend time with these people, and it makes me think of like what else is going on in her life, that this dream, this made-up dream is better than reality. And to me that goes to say we're better people a little bit during Christmas, because, you know, we sing carols, we give presents, and the rest of the, it's that Christmas spirit of this is the time when humanity is better as opposed to the rest of the year. And then the homages to The Thing and Alien, I just love those two movies, so this elevates that for me. I would put that personally in the number 4 spot.
So right now the debate is between Last Christmas and
Twice Upon a
Time.
For the
Anybody
number
else
4
have
spot.
arguments strongly for one or the other to be in the number 4 spot?
So we've talked about that, but
I think
Crabs.
Twice Upon a Time should be the next one.
Okay.
Well, we were just talking about Last Christmas. Yeah, I think Last Christmas should come first. Just 'cause
Above
You
Twice Upon a Time?
you just contradicted yourself. So you think number 4 should be Twice Upon a Time?
no.
Okay. Last Christmas is number 4.
Yes.
For you. Okay.
I just think it has more Christmas imagery and keeps referring to Christmas more.
And it's got snow.
Last Christmas.
So
I'm
does,
just
so
kid- I'm
does,
just
so
kidding,
does-
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either of these or clips from them yet,
okay.
so I don't really have much
You
to
don't
add.
count.
But crabs at Christmas.
you know, like, but it is because it's Alien. That's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Isn't The Thing
So-
a Christmas movie?
Which one?
Wasn't The Thing a Christmas movie?
No,
It
they were
just
just-
takes place in the
no.
Antarctic.
Oh.
So in Twice Upon a Time, because like, wasn't there a movie about people on different, like, singing, like the
That-
first Noel?
That's what
That-
he just talked about, Silent
Yeah,
Night. The
Silent
two
Night.
sides of the warring parties.
Yeah, that was a
in Silent
movie.
Night.
But that scene is in Twice Upon a Time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it has more historical significance than crabs?
Well, no, that sort of doesn't matter. I'm just saying that like.
I was saying it for myself as well.
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
guess you're the
Because
only
that
one.
is very Christmassy, you know. Like they made
Yes.
a movie, a whole Christmas
Yeah.
movie about that historical event.
The thing is, it's at the end.
Neither one of these have, I think, the main
focus.
story being a Christmas story.
Right.
The other one is about, you know, people and the dream crabs and trying to fight them from invading the Earth. That's story A. This one is the doctor revisits his first self, and both of them are, I don't want to go on, I don't want to move on, I want to stay
I don't want to
myself.
regenerate.
I don't want to regenerate. And what does that entail, and what am I giving up in that struggle? So those are the storyline A's. You know, the storyline B, or how they actually worked through it. The Last Christmas they used Santa because it was at Christmas, so he's on everybody's mind.
Keep
So,
going. You're talking me into it.
Last Christmas?
No.
Or-
Twice upon a Time.
Twice upon a time.
But at the end, Twice Upon a Time, the doctor does move him ahead 6 hours. So now it's Christmas to a day where he knows this magic's going to happen. That he knows the armistice. He knows this is going to be it. And he can save the people's lives this way. Save the two people who are going to either shoot each other. I don't know if they're both going to die or just the soldier was going to die. But he uses Christmas to save them. And it's historical. It's true. It's real. I think I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to save it. Because you said, wait, I'm actually convincing somebody.
Thoughts, Brian?
But
Well, to me, I wouldn't have considered much of it being historical and real in my deliberations. It's more of, is it good or not? I probably enjoy Last Christmas more than Twice Upon a Time. I think Last Christmas has a lot more Christmas in it than Twice Upon a Time. But Twice Upon a Time's ending, you can't get more Christmassy than that.
I will say that even though I watched it because we were doing this Christmas-centric episode of the podcast, I forgot it was a Christmas episode all the way till
Yeah.
it was over. Even during the Silent Night part, I just thought, oh, that's really cool. But
Yeah.
it never really occurred to me again oh yeah, this is a Christmas episode. It didn't evoke Christmas out of my brain.
Yeah, where Last Christmas you're always reminded because
Right.
of Santa's involvement.
Right.
And I like that his involvement it's a construct of your mind around this time of year. So I like that it's consistent. Like if we're in the Last Christmas episode, Frank's version of Santa is not different from my version of Santa or Brian's version of Santa. Santa in that is universal to those people involved, and I think that is that common humanity, like wanting to be better at the same time.
And that Santa character is sort of part of the end of the episode as well. Whereas Twice Upon a Time, you're totally taken out of that for the end of the episode.
That Santa, I always thought, was the Doctor's version of Santa. The snarkiness
I'm just thinking-
and everything else. It just seemed, because of other episodes that we'll come up with of how the Doctor visualizes characters, it just seemed because also that version of the Doctor was still around when he and Clara were still asleep, when the other ones had woken up. You know, so, because I did wonder, because they show everybody dreams differently, how is this one being
The same.
looking the same? That's
Yeah.
how I was thinking. So I thought he's probably the strongest mind, his version, because everybody else doesn't know and it matches enough to be, okay, that's Santa. But then they're all seem shocked by how he acts in the elves.
elves.
Sorry.
I see what you're saying, but I think
it's the ending of that episode that I don't like, because I know it was supposed to be a different
Yeah.
ending.
I
and they
understand
changed it. So that's a bias on that. But I'm thinking Last Christmas may have more Christmas in it. It is, talking about it, it is that one scene. It is the ending that leaves you with that great feeling.
And it's kind of like if you turn the volume down, do you still think of Christmas when with the episode playing? All right, well,
yeah, we'll just vote for number 4 spot. So we're gonna pick Last Christmas or Twice Upon a Time for the number 4 slot. I'll go first. Last Christmas for me.
I will go Last Christmas.
Last Christmas.
Yes, I think if Frank is willing to switch to Last Christmas, I will also say Last Christmas.
I say Twice Upon a Time.
And I'm safe now, so I say Last Christmas.
But I convinced somebody.
I
They
say
also
Twice
convinced
Upon.
me.
If I'm
well,
at Christmas, and it's between an episode that ends me with a Christmas feeling and one that ends me in this others. I say the
Yeah.
one that even if Christmas wasn't a big part of the episode, if it ends with a better Christmas feeling, then I'm going to vote Twice Upon a Time.
Last Christmas ends Christmassy.
It does.
I think we all have a lot
Also,
of
I don't like crabs. I don't even
Right.
watch this at Christmas.
just in their dreams, though, right?
It doesn't matter. It looks like
no,
it's
no, in
honors,
real
like
life,
he
that's how they get into it.
removes
Oh.
a crab from Clara. Nope.
It's like a face hugger.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we'll have a lot of things to watch this coming Christmas, you and I.
So the last
Maybe
two,
separately.
right? Maybe they're Twice Upon a Time
So
or The
coming in
Snowman.
at number 4, Last Christmas. So that means probably Twice Upon a Time is number 5.
Yeah, Twice Upon a Time would be number 5 with the Snowman at 6.
I may get a little flack from Kelsey because it's maybe not a standalone episode, but I would have Christmas Invasion be my number 2 for Christmas.
I say so
Fair,
as well.
since Josh wanted it to be number 1, so why don't we make it number 2?
And it does have some connections right to the first series, but it's not a lot of deep history that you have to know to get what's happening.
The only
Or
thing
is
you have
it?
to know is the Doctor's changed, and that's freaking everybody out.
Okay.
And let's face it, if you're having a Doctor Who Christmas marathon, you probably watched the first season, right?
Right.
Well,
Yeah, we're not
today,
introducing this to a
unless
new
unless
viewer.
you came in with Matt Smith's era or something
Or
like
Peter
that.
Capaldi's
That's true.
even.
That's true.
Well, here you go. You're gonna like it.
yes.
Yeah.
But if you did come in with a later Doctor, you understand regeneration.
Yes, that's
So you,
true.
so,
For me, though, I would put the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe above Christmas Invasion as my number 2 because how spoilery do we want to get?
Go spoiler. It's all
Yeah,
right.
go ahead.
Spoiler warning.
We warned.
It's during World War II, and there's a family that their father has passed away in battle, and the mom is keeping the secret of that for the family because she doesn't want to ruin Christmas. And she helped the Doctor in a random adventure in the very beginning of the episode while the father was still alive. And then that's when he says, "You help me out. If you ever need anything, call on me." And she kind of calls on him, but not knowing it's him because she never saw his face. And then they get into this mansion where it's kind of like a kid's playground everywhere. The beds they've got all these toys. The bedrooms, they've got all these toys. They've got
beds.
They got hammocks for beds, which kids love. And then there's a Christmas tree decorated to the nines, and it's not deadly.
Even though it spins.
It does spin. And then they go into what looks like Narnia. But then also them during wartime with their bags at the front of the mansion. It reminds me also of Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Because it's wartime. So Narnia and Bedknobs. And then you go on this weird journey where they say that the mother is the strongest character and she's allowed to save the thing that needs saving in the episode by also bringing back the dead husband. Well, like altering history that the husband is alive. And to me, that's like the family getting together at the very end reminds me a lot of Christmas.
Yes. My concern with this one is the actual plot of the episode is not good.
Yes,
The crisis that needs to be solved,
I agree with
I do
that.
not like. And so, for me, I was in fact going to leave it off my list completely. But then we watched it, and you guys kind of convinced me to put it in because of the Christmassy feelings to
Yes,
it,
it's
which is
definitely
what this list is about. You get a very much a Christmas feel.
And I mean, to spoil it more, is that they're trying to save a bunch of trees. It reminds me of Christmas too, with that imagery.
But they don't save the trees.
They don't. I know, but that.
But they saved the tree's souls.
Yeah, they have saved the souls of the trees.
And plus, I like the mom, Madge, Claire Skinner. She's
the character is very quirky.
great. I love her as an actress.
To me, something was lacking in this episode, and I can't put my finger on it.
I think that
I
plot.
liked it.
I think that plot Brian's talking about.
Yeah, that could be it.
I really, because to
The
me
first
it's
time
not.
yeah.
I mean, okay, I kind of hate to say it, but it's like I just didn't care. It was like, wait, what's going on? Who? What? Where? Why? This wooden thing? What? The queen? The king? What? It's that to me is not all fleshed out. But to get you into
were
a
a bit
Christmas
wooden.
mood. But to get you into a Christmas mood, if you don't think about that, if you think about the beginning of the episode, if you think about the house, if you think about going into Narnia, if you think about what Madge says to the doctor after everything is all done.
You're soaking in it? Madge was the woman in the Palmolive commercial.
Oh, that's right.
For anybody over 35 who would know that. 40?
My God.
There'll be some people who appreciate it, though.
Yeah. And then you go to the very end, and oh dear God, it's Christmas.
I don't remember it very well. I mean, as you're talking about it, I'm remembering it more and more, but I do, my initial memory is that it felt very Christmassy.
And I want to put it for number 2 just because of the feelings where I don't get that familial feeling as much in Christmas Invasion.
True.
And I agree with Eugene. I find that The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe gives me a more of a Christmassy feeling, especially at the end with the family being reunited. Like that's a very strong holiday theme. But I want to take into consideration Brian and Frank's feelings watching it and not really enjoying the plot. People might enjoy watching Christmas Invasion. They might have a better time watching Christmas Invasion. And if there's close to the same amount of Christmassiness in both episodes, I would say that enjoying an episode would tip the scales a little bit.
I agree with you, but for these 2 episodes, I don't think all things are equal. I think I would watch Christmas Invasion a million times, and I don't watch this. I mean, this one. When I watch this one, I get a really nice Christmassy feel to it, but the plot bores me to tears.
Yes, and that's why I think it should be number 3 and Christmas Invasion should be number 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm good with that.
Oh, so you're agreeing with me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were starting to argue with me, and I was like,
No.
I'm on.
No, because when you were saying because you started off saying you wanted to respect Frank and my feelings.
Yeah.
And it was like, but I'm
Not respect your feelings, but I think what you're saying should be taken into consideration and
yes.
tip the scales.
But this one, it's like but the plots aren't. All things being equal, these 2 episodes are not equal.
Right.
I'm going to make 2 more comments and then I will concede. So let's just because I'm trying to figure out and articulate why I feel the way I feel.
He really is choked up about this.
To me, the plot reminds me a lot about a Star Trek episode because there's no real villain. What turns out to be sort of a scary villain, you end up saving, or not saving, but their intent is not bad, and so I like that. And then at the end,
Can I comment on that part?
yeah,
I agree with you that it is very Star Trek and that the villain turns out to just be a good guy and misunderstood to begin with, and we need to communicate with each other, and once we do, we solve the problem. It's very Star Trek, and a good message to watch at Christmas. I just don't think they do it very well.
and the other point that I have is that I would probably show my mom this over Christmas Invasion. I think somebody cold could get more out of this standalone story than Christmas Invasion. So those are my last two arguments for keeping it in number 2.
On my own list, I had it at 4.
I vote The Doctor, Widow in the Wardrobe be number 2 on my list.
So you
You
changed.
changed.
Number 2?
Number 2, because personally it's number 2 on my list.
Twice Upon a Time, I had as my number 3, which made Doctor Widow in the Wardrobe my number 4. So they're close. They're both dealing with history, but one was actual history. It actually happened, and to show that, and that's, to me, the ultimate feeling of Christmas. To be good to one another, your fellow man.
Yeah.
Having them sing Silent Night in the trenches, and based in reality, that really happened, and it's a part of history that had never happened before, never happened since, and I doubt it will ever happen again. And it happened only because of Christmas Day. And so from the history aspect, that one really got to me. And this other one is a good feeling, but it's also changing the history. And to me, it...
Can I just say something about that?
Go ahead.
He doesn't change history. The father does not die. The father just lands 3 years later. So he's not altering history. It's just what happens to the father. Father never dies.
He disappeared.
He disappeared. And he disappeared briefly because he's flying home and he crashed.
Because what did the telegram say,
He's dead
right?
Because that's what they know.
because they thought he crashed into the channel, but he didn't.
It wasn't 3 years later, was it?
No,
Yeah.
well, no.
Yeah. But sorry.
But
I read too much into things. I know that. But it bugs me because so many people died during World War II and had to face this. And something that always bugged me about this episode, and it's just kind of coming into my brain now, is that they skirted the issue. She didn't have to tell her kids. I don't know, it's
Frank,
just me. I know that's a lot of it is just me.
No,
but it's
Frank,
just
I got that
taking
too
it too
when
seriously.
I was watching this. I did think near the end I was like, "Ooh, this would be really hard to watch if you had a father who did pass away in a war."
And even, not even just historically, it's just the dealing of somebody in your family passed away around Christmas. A lot of people deal with that. And to me, that just, I don't know, just doesn't address that issue. The doctor doesn't make it better. She does, and it's just happenstance that she was able to lead him home again. He followed her home, which was nice as a story. And I just think too many people are dealing with issues that are similar to this in their real life that didn't honor the tragedy that happened. So that's why I had put it down lower.
Well, for me, I am okay with the arguments you're making because it's kind of, to me, that's a good Christmas miracle. And it's kind of like, what do you wish for Santa to bring you? And if he can bring back a dead loved one, that's like the ultimate gift. And I also think I like this because of the actress. She plays it well. She's very tormented, even though she doesn't have to do the thing that she's dreading. I don't know. I just the fact that the family is reunited at the end really warms my heart.
So does everybody else say 3 or do we vote on this?
Is that okay? We're
I'm good
voting
with
for
that,
3.
For the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
That would
put that
be
in
my
third
vote.
place, yeah.
Okay.
Well, what do we think is number 1?
I would, for me, number 1 out of this list is A Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm inclined to say Christmas Invasion.
This is also one that, Josh, I think I'm like you. I did rewatch parts of it, and I had no recollection of it. So I haven't watched it because it must not have been in the
I don't think I've
order
seen it.
of
I don't think I've seen
things.
it.
Yeah.
So if you say, but aside from that one, I say Christmas Invasion.
Well, for me, it's A Christmas Carol because it's very much using the framework of Charles Dickens, and that Michael Gambon is your Scrooge, and he goes through the journey of reflecting on what could happen in his past life to becoming less of a Scrooge character, and then you get them riding off in a sleigh at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Pulled by a shark.
But despite that, it's kind of spoofing or whatever the Christmas Carol structure. Does it feel Christmassy?
Yes,
Yeah, the sets, the
definitely.
planet is Victorian.
The wardrobe.
It's very much, the doctor shows up coming out of a chimney.
And he plays the part of the ghosts of Christmas
I
past.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
And the Christmas present.
yes, and even when you're in the past, you're visiting Christmas Eve.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't
That-
seen this one.
It is an interesting take on the original story. It's a new version of it. So it's, A Christmas
So
Carol.
they did a new version of A Christmas Carol?
A Christmas Carol.
Has anyone
is
ever
such a
done that
staple,
before?
Exactly, of Christmas time. That this, to me, has to be number one in my list.
Does it have the same message of the Christmas Carol of like be good to your fellow man and
Yes.
Okay.
It softens up the Michael Gambon character to becoming more of a human than a curmudgeon Scrooge.
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
flips.
Michael Gambon
the-
goes from Scrooge at the beginning of Christmas Carol to Scrooge at the end during the story. Now it does, interestingly enough, break almost every Doctor Who rule that exists.
Right.
Because you can't change history. Well, he just completely starts off changing history and doing it in front of the guy's face without any mention, and nothing bad happens or anything like that. And then there was another one. Changes history and
Changes the person?
Yeah. Not only does he change history, but he also has the same person meet at different points in their timeline, and nothing bad happens because it's a Christmas episode. Hey, so
can I watch this without
This is definitely standalone.
incredibly standalone.
He has no companion at the
No.
time, right?
Well, he's companionless. He has a
Companionless.
companion, but just not with us on
okay.
this.
So you don't even have to know whoever it was.
Yeah.
After our Halloween episode aired last year, a friend of mine, Rick, wanted to know what Christmas episodes to watch. He was like, is there anything? And this one, I did say, it's enough of a standalone. It's not actually, like some of the other ones are standalone. They don't have any companion. They don't really affect anything else in the timeline. This has references. You do see Amy and Rory. So, but I said, it's enough of a standalone. You don't need to know anything else before.
Yeah, the only thing you really need to know about the companions is they're on their honeymoon, and they tell you that the first 2 seconds of you seeing them.
And again, it just gives me those feelings that you get at Christmas where it's, bittersweet, reflective,
Indigestion.
Christmas carols.
and uplifting at the end when the Michael Gambon character rides off with Katherine Jenkins, and then he has that one last I don't know, he just has the opportunity to say goodbye to somebody.
No, it's very Christmassy to me.
And were there any episodes that we considered that weren't Christmas specials that might also be Christmassy?
Yeah, well, I have 2 different honorable mentions that you can watch at Christmas. One, I usually like watching some TV episodes that were Christmas ones from old days, So sometimes there's even themes of it because It's a Wonderful Life is done at Christmas, and everyone puts that as a Christmas movie. So there are episodes of different TV shows for that. And I think Turn Left is this doctor's perfect It's a Wonderful Life. What would happen if she didn't meet the doctor? What's going on with Donna when she turned right instead? So I think that has It's a Wonderful Life quality. So that's my first honorable mention. And the second is, what would happen if Charles Dickens really did meet ghosts at Christmas? Come on. So The Unquiet Dead, I thought, was definitely one that you can watch at Christmas. When we were doing this, I was thinking the series ends, and then it's what, usually 6 months, 4 months, at least to the Christmas?
Yeah, a couple, not
So,
6, but 4.
4 months?
Can be.
Yeah, can be, but
The
typically.
specials were more of a gift of a new episode at Christmas rather than a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Because most of our series in America, we would have a Christmas episode because it's mid-season or near the beginning of the season, so it's more Christmas centric. But these were more just a gift here. We have an extra episode. That's why we narrowed it down to less than half, just less than half of what's been aired, because it's a different mentality.
And the reason we were given these Christmas specials as a gift or a bonus was because of the Dr. Light episodes, and they allowed the budget to do another episode.
And I think it is interesting that, roughly half of them are more Christmas centric and half are, around Christmas, but
not Christmas.
But not Christmas focused.
Yeah.
So that's good on them for, diversifying what their Christmas special could be.
It also has turned into that the Christmas specials, rather than being about Christmas, need to be universe-altering plot things. Like every regeneration, everyone in the modern series is a Christmas special. Every single one.
Well, technically, when the Ninth Doctor regenerated, he regenerated in the season, and
Yes. And David Tennant got, his one line. But then you had the Christmas episode.
Technically, he got his hand back, so he's still in the process of regenerating.
oh, okay, you're right.
The Christmas episodes deal with regeneration rather than Christmas.
Right.
And so it's one of those things. It's like, this is a Christmas episode. We've got to knock it out of the park and get big ratings because it's Christmas.
Are the Christmas episodes on the DVDs of that particular season?
Sometimes, and sometimes not.
That's a can of worms.
Really?
These are very, especially if you're streaming, these are hard to find.
Yeah, no, but if you're looking at I'm just saying the DVDs. I know in the
So
streaming.
yes and no.
Because it doesn't make sense. Basically, because of what you just said. Because someone will be watching the show, and then all of a sudden they can't see when the Doctor regenerates.
Yep, that is true.
All right, before we repeat what we have decreed as the top 6 Christmas specials to watch during a Christmas episode, we have some listeners that have written in, and we will read you what their opinions and suggestions are. So Heather, a common guest to the show, writes that A Christmas Carol is hands down her favorite Doctor Who Christmas special, and it's also one of her favorite Doctor Who episodes, period. Arlene, who couldn't be here, says that Voyage of the Damned is her favorite one because it plays with a historical event with the Titanic, but the character development is what draws her in the most. It shows you how humanity, or whatever you would call it, the characters really do act, or how the characters really do act in a trauma situation.
Rick writes in, and he also mentions Voyage of the Damned, in that the scene with the Titanic crashing into the TARDIS just shook him up. He thought that was great. But he also felt it was like the Poseidon Adventure, like we all said. But his one that he's writing about is the Christmas Invasion. He goes, there's a moment there. I'll never forget how creeped out I am by the Santas. I had only seen a couple episodes at that point, and that one really freaked me out, and I can still see them now. So, thanks, Rick.
And then I have a comment from Julia, who was one of our first listeners. In fact, I actually gave her an early copy before we got released to get her suggestions. And so she says, of course, it's practically impossible to pick just one. And I feel like I'm probably being unfair because I haven't rewatched a lot of the Capaldi episodes. So there may be great stuff in them that I don't remember. Having said all that, I think my favorite Christmas episode may be The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. There's just something about this family during wartime, thinking they've lost their husband/father, that really gets to me every time. I love the character of Madge and the Doctor's relationship with her, and I cry every time he shows up at Amy and Rory's house at the end. Matt Smith is great with the kids, and because he does silliness so well, I love the scene where he shows them the kids' room. He's not even sure why he's doing it at the time. He just knows he wants to make Christmas special for them. So he created a kid's paradise with hammocks, followed by the sad moment when Madge tells him about her husband. That balance of silly and sad is why I love Doctor Who. So I'm picking that whole scene as my favorite Christmas moment. A special shout out to David Tennant quoting The Lion King in The Christmas Invasion.
When does he do that?
He's talking to the Sycorax, and he goes, these people are amazing. The humans are amazing. On the day they arrive on this planet, and blinking, step into the sun. There's more. Wait a minute, that's a Lion King. But the matter is, what I'm trying to say is.
And then we have one more from Melissa, who wrote in earlier during season 1 or 2. She says, A Christmas Carol. It has wonderful performances all around, especially Michael Gambon and Katherine Jenkins. It's playful and heartfelt and one of Moffat's best storytelling episodes. Abigail's singing is gorgeous, and it has a shark. She likes sharks. I think Jaws is one of her favorite movies, so that wins it over for her.
That's a 4th of July movie.
So we, as the Who Knew podcast, have come up with this list. Number 6, The Snowmen. Number 5, Twice Upon a Time. Number 4, Last Christmas. Number 3, The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Number 2, Christmas Invasion. Number 1, A Christmas Carol.
God bless us, everyone.
Or whomever deity you worship. So that wraps up our Christmas special recommendations episode.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yes,
Thanks for
happy
listening.
holidays in whatever you celebrate.
Thank you, Ita Bunny.
We will see you next time when the future becomes the present.
You just listened to an episode of Who Knew?
Our wonderful theme music is by Michael Grady.
Find him on Facebook at The Universe Explodes.
Additional music is by Damiel Paggio.
Additional music by Paul Ohlers.
All our episodes are engineered by Auburn, and you can find him at auburnbinkley.com.
You can also find this show in several places.
Follow us on Twitter at Who Knew Podcast.
Subscribe, review, and listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Or on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Who Knew Podcast.
All our episodes are on whoknewpodcast.com.
Visit our Facebook page.
Please leave comments, reviews, and click like to support Who Knew Podcast.
To listen to our show on your Amazon Echo device, subscribe to us on Amazon Music.
And then ask your Amazon device to play your podcast subscriptions.
This podcast is inspired by Doctor Who,
The longest running sci-fi show in history.
And especially the revival spearheaded by Russell T. Davis.
Thanks to Russell, Sidney Newman,
Verity Lambert, Ron Grainer,
and all those involved in the adventures of our favorite Time Lord.
Your work continues to inspire and entertain.
Hello, this is Sylvester McCoy. You've just listened to an episode of Who Knew? Clever name.